ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I want you to do something most people spend their entire lives avoiding. I want you to be honest with yourself, not with your family, not with your friends, not with the world, with yourself. Because deep inside, beneath all the excuses, beneath all the explanations, beneath all the reasons you've been giving yourself, you know there is something you should have started already. A dream, a goal, a business, a skill, a book, a conversation, a decision. Something that has been calling your name for months, maybe years. And every morning you wake up with the intention to begin. Every night you go to sleep promising tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow comes, and somehow nothing changes. Days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years. And slowly, without realizing it, your life begins to slip through your fingers. That is the price of procrastination. Most people think procrastination is a time management problem. It's not. It's a life management problem. Because procrastination doesn't steal minutes. It steals futures. It steals possibilities. It steals versions of yourself that could have existed. Think about the person you could have become if you had started 1 year ago. Imagine that person. Imagine the confidence, the experience, the growth, the opportunities. Now ask yourself one painful question. Where is that person? That version of you existed. That future was possible. But procrastination stood in the doorway and whispered one dangerous sentence: not today. And you listened again and again and again. You see, procrastination rarely sounds dangerous. That's why it's so deadly. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It says, you've had a long day, you deserve a break. Start tomorrow. One more day won't matter. But one more day becomes one more week. One more week becomes one more month. One more month becomes one more year. And suddenly you're looking back at time you can never get back. Time is the only currency in life you can never earn again. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose opportunities and find new ones. But the time you waste today is gone forever. Forever. Let that sink in. Somebody somewhere would give everything they own for one more year of life. One more month, one more week, one more day. And yet millions of people wake up every morning and casually throw away the gift they have been given. Not because they are lazy, not because they are stupid, but because they believe they have more time. That belief destroys dreams every single day. The biggest lie ever told is not that you can't succeed. The biggest lie ever told is that you have plenty of time. Because life moves faster than you think. Remember being a child? It feels like yesterday. Remember your teenage years? Gone. Remember 5 years ago? Feels like a blink. Time doesn't slow down. It speeds up. And every year you delay action, the price becomes greater. The saddest thing in the world is not failure. The saddest thing in the world is potential that never became reality. A person who could have changed their family's future, but never started. A person who could have built something extraordinary, but kept waiting. A person who could have inspired millions, but never took the first step. Don't become that person. Because one day life will ask you a question. Not how talented you were, not how intelligent you were, not how many excuses you had. Life will ask, what did you do with the time you were given? And on that day, excuses won't matter. Only actions will. Only courage will. Only effort will. Only the moments when you chose growth over comfort will matter. Because comfort is the greatest addiction on earth. People think addiction is drugs. People think addiction is alcohol. People think addiction is gambling. No. The most dangerous addiction is comfort. Because comfort feels safe. Comfort feels harmless. Comfort feels pleasant. But comfort quietly steals your future while making you feel relaxed. And before you realize it, years have disappeared. You were meant to build. You consumed. You were meant to create. You watched. You were meant to lead. You followed. You were meant to act. You waited. And every day, procrastination collected another payment from your future. The question is, how much more are you willing to pay? Because every dream has a price. Success has a price. Growth has a price. Discipline has a price. But procrastination has a price too, and its price is much higher. One costs temporary discomfort. The other costs lifelong regret. And regret is heavy. It follows people into their 40s, their 50s, their 60s, their 70s. It sits beside them and whispers, you could have, you should have, you would have. Those 3 sentences have broken more hearts than failure ever will. Because failure teaches, failure grows you, Failure makes you stronger. But regret simply reminds you of what never happened. And nothing hurts more than realizing the life you wanted was waiting for you. But you never showed up. Think about those words for a moment. The opportunity showed up. Price of Procrastination. Part 2. But you never showed up. Think about those words for a moment. The opportunity showed up. The dream showed up. The idea showed up. The chance showed up. The possibility showed up. But you never showed up. And that's how most dreams die. Not because they're impossible, not because they were unrealistic, not because they required too much talent. They die because the person responsible for bringing them to life kept waiting. Waiting for confidence, waiting for motivation, waiting for certainty, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting for the perfect conditions, waiting for the perfect moment. But let me tell you something that can change your life forever. The perfect moment does not exist. It never existed, and it never will. The people you admire did not start when they were ready. They started when they were scared. They started when they were uncertain. They started when they doubted themselves. They started when failure seemed possible. Because winners understand something procrastinators never do. Action comes before confidence, not after. Most people say, when I feel confident, I'll start. Successful people say, when I start, confidence will come. That single difference changes everything. Because confidence is not built by thinking. Confidence is built by doing. Every action sends a message to your mind. Every step tells your brain, I am capable. I am growing. I am becoming stronger. And every time you procrastinate, you send the opposite message. You teach yourself weakness. You teach yourself hesitation. You teach yourself doubt. Without realizing it, you are training your identity. The question is, what are you training yourself to become? A person who acts or a person who waits? A person who creates or a person who excuses? A person who moves or a person who postpones? Because eventually, your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. Listen carefully. The future isn't built in dramatic moments. The future is built in ordinary moments. The moment you wake up and choose discipline. The moment you choose work over excuses. The moment you choose action over comfort. The moment you choose growth over fear. Those small moments seem insignificant, but they are not. A giant tree begins as a seed. A massive building begins with a single brick. An extraordinary life begins with one decision. One decision. That's all it takes. Not 100, not 1,000. One. The decision that says no more waiting, no more excuses, no more tomorrow. Because tomorrow is the favorite word of people who never change. Tomorrow is where dreams go to die. Tomorrow is where goals are buried. Tomorrow is where potential disappears. If it matters, do it now. If it scares you, do it now. If it challenges you, do it now. Because fear grows when you wait. Fear shrinks when you act. Most people think courage means not being afraid. That's not courage. Courage means being afraid and moving anyway. Courage means hearing every doubt in your mind and taking the step regardless. Courage means refusing to let fear make decisions for your future. And let me ask you something. What would your life look like if you stopped listening to fear? What would happen if you finally trusted yourself? What would happen if today became the day everything changed? Not next month, not next year, today. Imagine waking up every morning knowing you're moving toward your dream. Imagine looking in the mirror and feeling proud of your effort. Imagine ending each day knowing you honored your potential. That feeling is available to you, but you must earn it. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can hand it to you. Nobody can create it for you. You must build it yourself, brick by brick, day by day, decision by decision. And yes, it will be difficult. There will be days you don't feel motivated. There will be days you feel tired. There will be days when quitting seems easier. But remember this, the pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. One hurts for a moment, the other hurts for a lifetime. Choose your pain wisely, because life guarantees pain. What it doesn't guarantee is success. Success must be earned. And every successful person eventually reaches a moment where they decide, I am no longer negotiating with my future. That moment changes everything. The moment you stop bargaining, the moment you stop delaying, the moment you stop waiting, the moment you stop making excuses, that moment is the beginning of your transformation. Years from now, people will see your success, they will see the results, they will see the victories, they will see the confidence, but they will never fully understand what created it. Because success is built in private. It is built when nobody is watching. It is built when excuses are available but ignored. It is built when comfort is tempting but rejected. It is built when action becomes a non-negotiable part of your identity. And one day, those actions compound. The same way procrastination compounds. Except this time, instead of regret, you experience growth. Instead of disappointment, you experience progress. Instead of wishing, you experience achievement. That is the reward waiting on the other side of discipline. That is the life waiting for the person who refuses to delay. That is the future waiting for the person who finally decides to move. So tonight, make a promise. Not to me, not to anyone else, to yourself. Promise yourself that you will stop treating your dreams like options. Promise yourself that you will stop waiting for permission. Promise yourself that you will stop postponing your greatness, because you have already waited long enough. You have already delayed long enough. You have already sacrificed enough time. The clock is moving. Life is moving. The years are moving. And whether you act or not, time will continue to pass. The only question is this: when the next 5 years pass, will you be proud or will you be regretful? Will you be stronger or will you still be waiting? Will you be living your dream or talking about the dream you never pursued? The choice is yours. It has always been yours and it will always be yours. So stand up, take the first step, make the call, start the project, write the first page, launch the business, learn the skill, take the risk, begin, because your future is watching, your dreams are watching, the person you were born to become is watching. Do not make them wait any longer. The price of procrastination is far too high, and the cost of waiting is a life that could have been. This is your moment. This is your chance. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when conditions are perfect. Now. Right now. And when years from now you look back at this moment, you will either remember it as the day you made another excuse or the day you finally took control of your life. Make sure it's the second one. Make sure this is the chapter where everything changes. Make sure this is the moment your future begins. Because greatness is not waiting for you tomorrow. Greatness is waiting for the decision you make today. And that decision starts now.